we're talking about mental health today. Abdi Barsid Ali Mohammed is my guest. He's a psychotherapist, emotional intelligence, and behavioral analyst.
I'm learning a lot today, yeah?
Yes.
And I want us to just hear one more bit personally. What are the symptoms of psychological trauma?
So the common trauma diagnosis is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and there are different symptoms, but the common ones it's withdrawals, like someone is they don't want to be part of any social gatherings.
Yeah.
They want to isolate themselves and actually away from all people. So you may find them living in the remote areas by themselves. A lot of substance abuse. It could be alcohol or it could be other drugs. Nightmare, flashbacks from the event.
Oh.
Yeah, so those are the common ones. And also it may also have physical somatic symptoms. It could be a high blood pressure and so on. But other mental health, the symptoms of if someone has an anxiety, as I mentioned, anxiety is just something we all have. It's our body is telling us something is and wrong.
Yes.
We might be in threat, right?
Yes.
But prolonged stress can cause anxiety and depression. And in cases, if the stress is not alleviated, it can also turn out to become PTSD.
Oh.
So stress could be it might be the root cause of all the physical and psychological problems that people have. Some other physical symptoms can be of stress, prolonged stress, obesity, diabetes. What else? It's long, right?
Yeah.
And also, it leads, the anxiety. Prolonged stress can also be cause OCD, which is part of the anxiety family. Yeah, so I think it's really important that we understand and what are our biggest stressors.
How do we manage stress? Because it's like all our problems begin with that.
So stress hormones are something that we all have. So in the morning when you wake up, you get stress hormones. So you get ready to go about your day, and when the sun sets, your stress levels, should decrease and get more of melatonin, for example.
Yeah.
But the problem is because of our our ability to imagine, and we were talking about how we imagine a worst case scenario, worst future,
Yes.
right? The body cannot differentiate whether this worst case scenario you're imagining, if it's happening now or it's just in your imagination.
Okay.
The body will just give you stress hormones so you can survive whatever you're imagining. So you might go to bed thinking you're going to sleep, and then you remember you had an assignment or report or a fight you had with someone, whatever it is, then the body think you're reliving it and then gives you all these survival hormones you need.
Yeah.
And sleep hormones, melatonin and stress hormones cannot coexist. So one has to give way.
Oh.
So what I recommend is, because during stress, we're operating from the nervous system called a sympathetic nervous system. So it means it's fight or flight. So from that system, it's all about surviving. There's no growth, physical or intelligent and cognitive growth.
Yeah.
There's no creativity. You're just going to survive.
Yes.
But we're not here to survive.
Yeah.
We're not created to survive. We're created to live a
Yeah,
life,
yeah.
right? But this is our human nature, so we need to understand what are our potentials and what are our limitations as humans.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
The body follows certain rules. You need to feed it, you need to give drink, and the body needs to rest in order to function fully. The mind has it. Also, the spiritual aspect is huge, right?
Yes.
Our
Yes.
understanding of, our spiritual practice, and how well are we connected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so to get out of this survival system and sympathetic nervous system to go over to the living system called parasympathetic system and nervous system,
Mm-hmm.
it's becoming aware of your breath.
Okay.
As simple as that. You do your conscious breathing. So have long exhale.
Mm.
You cannot breathe like that if you were being chased by an
No.
elephant or a lion,
Never.
right?
No.
So when we breathe like that, the message that the brain gets is this person is out of threat. So
Okay.
let's restore the body. So
Oh.
now digestive system is working, your lungs, blood is going where it's supposed to be. Now you're growing about, if you're a little child, now you start growing physically. And if you're an adult, your creativity part is growing,
Mm-hmm.
right? But as
Yeah.
a child who's
Yeah.
really traumatized, actually, it may suppress the physical growth as well.
Oh.
Yeah, because again, so stress is survival mode. There's no time to grow.
Oh. So it is important that we manage it.
Yeah, let's understand first.
Yeah.
Yeah, once we understand, and as soon as and this fear comes, and then because now you've been practicing your breathing exercise in time of peace,
Yes.
now it's easier to do it in time of stress.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've talked about spirituality. You've talked about breathing in, doing the breathing exercises. What else?
Physical activity is important.
Yes.
So depending on your shape, if just walking for 30 minutes, if you're there, then do it.
Okay.
But if 30 minutes doesn't do anything and you're better physical shape, then obviously go for something else. Especially interval training, whether you're running a lot or you're lifting weights or high intensity workout is really
Yes.
nice, because the sweat that we break contains the antidote of stress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abdi Basid, I would keep you here for the next hour, but I'm running out of time. So before you leave, what would you tell somebody who's listening in and are experiencing a mental illness? And yeah.
So a part of the trauma that we talked about, and in my practice, I see a lot of young people who are suffering mentally because of pressure. So it's either self-imposed pressure or pressure imposed by the family or the society as a large, because we've been conditioned to believe there's a certain way to live a good life, and there's a certain path to follow for that good life. And that path is extremely tiny. So all of us want to rush through that path, which is impossible.
Yeah.
So if you're not on that path, we've been conditioned to think you are a loser.
Ooh.
And by a certain age, you should also have all these physical things, house, wife or husband or kids and cars or whatever. So that has become the ideal life.
Mm-hmm.
But as a spiritual person myself,
Yeah.
I believe God created a whole universe for us to walk, compared to that tiny path other humans and created for us. So what I want to say is, please sit down and get someone who has a bird eye views to help you understand and connect the dots. And there's so many ways to live a good life and define what is good life for you.
There is so many ways to live a good life and define what is good life to you. Thank you so much, Abdi Basid. This has been so good.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure being here. I
And
hope I can come back.
yes, please. I would like to have you again. We would like to have you back again. It is the Breakfast Club, 2 minutes past 10. We have gone beyond our usual time by 2 minutes. You see what you've made us do today? Ooh, but you know what? It was worth it all the way. DJ Comes is about to get in on the set. We are here every single day, Monday through to Friday, from 6 to 10. Right now, DJ Comes is starting off with the warm-up mix. Are you ready? Let go.